What I'm going to be doing here is making a money manifestation candle using a sheet of beeswax and a wick. I also have my own blend of a money manifestation oil, and in here I have some peridot crystals. What I'm going to do is just anoint the beeswax in a couple areas, and as the candle burns, then that scent will come forth. Wish you could smell this. What I'm doing here is just unrolling the wick, and this is enough to make maybe 3 candles. I'm just going to go ahead and separate this, and then I just simply need it to be about the height of the candle, maybe a little bit more. Then I will just trim it whenever I'm finished. So about that should be good, and I'll cut it right. And there we go. So I went ahead and I shifted the camera so that you could see what I'm doing here. And all I'm doing is simply pressing it into the very edge, or close to the edge of the sheet of wax. And then I'm just simply going to just roll that over onto the wick to secure it. And my wax is pretty soft right now, so it's very pliable, but if yours is dry, what you might want to do is just soften it up a little bit by leaving it in the sun for just a few minutes, and that way when you're rolling your candle, it does not crack. The wax doesn't crack. So all I did was just simply attach the wick like that. I'm simply going to just continue to roll the candle, and your fingers will kind of soften up the wax as well. Since I am in AC, so it's a little cool in here, but the wax was a little pliable before, so I'm just going to keep rolling. And I could have cut this on a taper, so I could have a tapered candle, but I chose not to. And I'm just going to follow. Simply, I'm paying attention more to the back here so that that's nice and even. And I'm just going to keep on rolling. And if I decide to, I can just add a little bit more of the oil. And I'll continue to roll. And here I may want to put in a couple of the pieces of peridot. So I'll just drop a few chips along here, and as the candle burns, and those will fall into the wax, and I can simply just collect them afterwards. And I can just continue. You just don't want to put them in too close to the wick. That's why I waited until I got towards the middle to add those in. And now that I've gotten a little further, you can see the peridot chips right here. So just make sure that it's nice and straight. And right here, I'll go ahead and add a few more chips to kind of balance it out on each side. And I just continue to roll, just making sure to keep it nice and even. I'm going to add just a little bit more oil here. And then right towards the end, what I'll do here is just simply take my finger and I'll just mold that to the other sheet of wax. Beautiful, isn't it? It's very simple, and I wish you could smell this. And then I'll just simply take it and I'll press just to make sure that the bottom is nice and flat. I'll also just kind of round out the bottom just by using my fingertips. And like I said, the warmth from your fingers will heat up the wax as well. And this will kind of make it a little bit easier to go into a candle holder just by kind of rounding off the bottom here. And there we go. Stands up. So what I'm going to do for this last little bit of finishing touch is just add a couple pieces of the peridot crystal just along the edge of the seam. And it's very, very soft right now, so it's very easy to add these little pieces in. So I'll just take a few and I'll just press right into the wax. It just adds just a little bit of finishing touches to it. And like I said, as the wax burns down, then those crystals will just fall off with the wax, and that's a little small. See if I can get a few more pieces. Just trying to keep the pieces as even in size as possible. If you wanted to, you could also add different herbs on the inside of your candle, but I decided not to do that this time. I just added the oil. I'm not going to put one at the very bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there is the finished candle. Let me just go ahead and pick up these few pieces. So here's the finished candle. What I'm going to do now is simply just trim the wick. I'm just going to just leave maybe about an inch. So I'll trim it off right here. And there is the finished candle. What do you think? Very simple. Once you have the sheets of beeswax, they're very, very simple to roll. And you can see the roll right there. Very simple. Right?